Hey Collide, I'm so pumped that you're here today. For the past few weeks, we've been talking about what it looks like to trust Jesus with our lives. And today we're going to continue that conversation. We're going to keep it rolling. And I actually think that what we're going to talk about today, I think it's crucial for everybody. Whether you're here and you're just still trying to figure this whole Jesus thing out, and you're not totally sure about everything, or maybe you've recently made the decision to follow Jesus, or maybe you're here and you've been following Jesus for a long time. Today is for everybody, and I'm so glad that you're here. And we're going to look at something that I think a lot of us, we actually believe is true. And it might even be something that you find yourself thinking at times. And honestly, I think a lot of us have probably at least thought this at some point in our life, and it's this. Life will be easier once you follow Jesus. Like, it's this thought that nothing bad should happen to me because I'm now following Jesus. And we might not say it this strongly, but it's almost kind of like we think God owes us something because we've decided to follow him. And so he should make sure that nothing bad ever happens to us. And if we're not careful, we can easily fall into this idea that we start scoring our life on this kind of big cosmic scoreboard up in the sky. Almost like this, like when things go well for us, well, that's 1 point for God. And when things don't go well, take away a point for God. Like, I got an A on a math test, and so, that's 1 point for God. But I just got grounded by my mom, and so that's 1 point against God. Or I just made the team, and so that's 1 point for God. Or maybe you're like, well, I just got cut from the team, and so that's 1 point against God. My dad just got a new job, so 1 point for God. Or I think my parents are maybe going to get a divorce, and so that's 1 point against God. And we may not look at it completely that way, but we kind of think about things like that. And maybe you've even found yourself asking God, why is this happening to me? I'm trying to follow you. And so why would you let something bad happen to me? That's so hard. I get it. Those moments can be so difficult. And so today we actually want to look at something called resilient faith. And you might hear that and be like, what does that even mean? Well, resilient faith is a faith that can make it through the good times, but also the bad times. It's a faith that's based on who God is and on the things that he's done for us. So how do we do that? How do we build a faith that no matter what happens in our lives, good or bad, we can still have a faith that's going to end up lasting? Well, first off, I actually think it's really important for us all to know that we're all going to experience hard times. We're going to have moments in our lives where we get knocked down, where things hit us that we just didn't really see coming. As a matter of fact, Jesus actually told us that all of this would happen. And you might be like, well, wait a minute. What about the whole, if I follow Jesus, my life will be easier stuff? Well, he actually never really promised that we would have an easy and comfortable life. As a matter of fact, he says something a little bit different. Look at John 16:33, and it says this, I have told you all this so that you may have peace in me. Here on earth, you will have many trials and sorrows, but take heart because I have overcome the world. You see, he's actually telling us, hey, even when you follow me, the world's still going to be tough. The world is hard. Here on this earth, you will have hard times. You will have moments that are difficult. You will experience pain, hurt, and frustration. Not might, not maybe, not it probably will happen. No, you will, because we live in a broken world. And following Jesus, it doesn't guarantee an easy life. There will be those moments that are hard and challenging, and it doesn't matter how tough we think we actually are, we still will face hard times. But it's amazing because Jesus didn't just stop by saying, hey, you're going to have hard times. Good luck. Go figure it out on your own. No, he actually gave us some good news. And he doesn't want you to miss this part. He says this, but take heart because I have overcome the world. You see, God's letting us know his love for us, that he cares for us. It's his incredible love for you, and that's why he came. He sent his son Jesus to overcome the world. And despite the fact that you have problems and things may not go the way that you want them to, or you can still build a resilient faith because of what Christ has done for you, not because of what you've done. It's not because things are easy, or it's not because things are difficult, but it's because of what Jesus has done. He has overcome the world. And I don't want you to miss this. Following Jesus was never meant to be easy, but it's always worth it. So despite the fact that you're going to get knocked down, take heart because Jesus has overcome the world, and so we can get back up again. Hard times, they're going to come, but he wants us to also know that we're not alone. We don't have to try to do this thing alone. And as a matter of fact, in Matthew 11:28, it says this. It says, "Then Jesus said, 'Come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest.'" Think about that for a second. I know for me, sometimes there's those times that I felt extremely overwhelmed. Like, what is going on in my life? Like, how am I going to handle this? God, the creator of the universe, is saying this. Come to me. Come to me, all of you that are weary, all of you that are tired, all of you that are going through a difficult time, all of you that are experiencing pain and hurt. Is that you? Do you need to go to God today and say, "Hey God, I'm overwhelmed. I'm burdened. I'm tired. I'm having a difficult time." Because what he promises is that he will give you rest. But a lot of times we avoid taking our problems to God because we're trying to figure it out, how to do it all on our own. We have a God, though, who is so loving, so caring. That's not based on our situations. It's not based on if things are going really well or if things are going bad or if you messed up or didn't mess up. No, our resilient faith is built on the character of who God is, that he's loving, and he says, "Come to me." So where are you today? Are you stuck, feeling worried, overwhelmed? God is saying, "Come to me, and I will give you rest." You see, it's really easy to have that cosmic scoreboard where we take points and we give points away. But what God's saying and what I'm saying is when you build your faith on God's character, on who God is and what he has done for you, and not on what's happening around the world, that's when we learn to build that resilient faith. And if you're here today, you've never made the decision to follow Jesus, why not today? We've been talking about how hard this world is, but we've seen the amazing promises that Jesus says that he has overcome the world and that he wants to care for us in those moments. And so you don't need to try to figure this out alone. You don't need to walk through the challenges and struggles of this life alone. He's there for you. He's waiting for you to just simply come to him. And so if that's you, during your group time, talk to your leader. They would love to talk with you more and help as you make the best decision ever. And so why not today? Why not right now? Following Jesus, it was never meant to be easy, but it's always worth it.